Yo, what is going on YouTube? Today I'm going to be comparing two lights at the same price point, pretty much marketed to do the same thing. They have different sets of features, slightly different form factors, and one has a whole ton of features above the other. I was swayed to buy this light because of a video by Gerald Undone. If you haven't heard of him, here's his little intro.
Gerald Undone, he's crazy.
Disclosure, I did ask him before I put his little intro montage on my video and he was cool with it. Super cool guy. So moving to top down view, we're going to absolutely breeze through this. Open the box, get a little bag, open it up. You got your instruction manual, little stick-on diffuser, warranty card, and so forth. You got your little Velcro bits and bobs, extra diffusion panel, and extra Velcro bits and bobs. Inside, what else do you get? You get an extra 3/4 inch adapter thingy bob, some rubber bands, a USB-C cable, and obviously the light itself. Comes with one diffusion panel on side and the little sticker that you have to take off to turn it on. Also, obviously get this tiny little ball mount, which is pretty rubbish, but it comes with it and it does the job. Moving on swiftly to the Boling, the box looks like a phone box. It looks exactly like my Note 8 box. I was really surprised. Cut the slits open, slide it out, and you're presented with the light. Take the little instruction manual plastic bit off, and we can see this funky little mechanism as well as the whole light itself. It looks quite cool. The mechanism could be interesting. Open the box up. What do we get inside? Instructions, little sticker. Meh. Who needs to read instructions for these kind of things anyways, although I seem to be spending a lot of time on it. Let's put that aside. You get a little bag, inside a USB-C cable, looks exactly like the Samsung one, and finally a little Allen key to adjust the mechanism. A quick side-by-side comparison, you can see the Boling is a lot bigger but still very pocketable, and surprisingly a lot lighter than the Aputure. When we go over the specs you'll get to see the difference. Just showing you what they look like as and when they're on. Little quick overview. Let's start with the specifications of the Aputure. Now first up, this thing is absolutely tiny. It is truly credit card sized, and has robust controls. It has an on and off toggle, a function toggle, brightness up and down, and a booster switch. That's as far as it goes for the controls, which is enough to basically operate this with its limited controls, because that's what this thing is, limited. It might have been great at the time it came out because nothing else was there to compete with this product at this price point, but now there are a few competitors, and even Aputure will be killing this product themselves in the future. I'll explain how at the end of the video. But you basically have four brightness settings, and they go up in 25% increments. You can go from 2800 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin. It is very color accurate, CRI and TLCI at both 95 and above. It's fairly bright with 880 lux at 0.5 meters, has 128 LEDs, which obviously you can't use all together because the different LEDs are operational at different color temperatures. It has an 1800 mAh battery at 3.7 volts, rated power is 8 watts, and it's about 10 centimeters by 6 centimeters by 2.3 centimeters thick. Next up we have the Boling P1. Now this is substantially bigger at 15 centimeters by 7 centimeters by 1.5 centimeters, so slightly thinner, but in the other dimensions it's a lot bigger. It has this signature party trick, which is its built-in swivel arm, which is a bit of a weird dangly robot arm. You can adjust the tension, and it's got a bunch of 1/4 inch mounts, about 7 of them on just that little handle. But it is a very elegant looking light. The whole thing's made out of aircraft grade aluminium. It's very robust, it's very solid, and substantially lighter than the Aputure light, probably about half. Now this signature arm does give you a lot of versatile mounting options, along with the 1/4 3/8 threads, 1/4 3/8 or 3/8 threads, and because of this you don't really need to worry about a ball mount or any sort of mount when you attach this to your camera, as long as you have the hot shoe adapter or a rig, because you've got all the movement and flexibility built in to this thing. Although the arm does look weird and sticks out a bit, I kind of would have preferred the option of a single tripod mount at the base of it, and the option to remove this. Now if we get to the back, we can see the different features. We're just turning it on. Oh, it's already in its flashing mode. Let's get out of that. Go over to its normal light mode. Now you have an increased color temperature range. It's 2500, slightly lower, up to 8500, 2000 Kelvin higher. The brightness can be adjusted in 1% increments. It is a tiny bit finicky moving it in 1% increments, but you know, if you wanted to move it in 2-3% increments, it's quite easy. This makes this light really great for fine tuning based on your shooting needs, and the accuracy of these colors are also again very high, higher than even the Aputure, with a CRI of 96 and a TLCI of 97. It is a bit of a weird off-key brand, but it is still a quality product. Moving on, this has almost 50% more power at 12 watts and almost double the brightness as 0.5 meters of 1480 lux. It has 3 different modes, and now here we're in the RGB mode, and you can basically choose from 360 different colors. And not only can you choose from 360 colors, it has the saturation option, so you can make them as saturated, so basically as deep or as vibrant looking as you want, because it goes from 0 to 100 in 1% increments. And there's a little scale at the back, so you know what 0 to 360 corresponds to in terms of their color chart. This is absolutely great. You can put this behind any product shot, light it up to your exact specifications. And not only that, the third mode, so we have the light mode in the different color temperatures, we have the RGB mode with 360 different colors at 100 different saturation points. Third and finally, this also has an effects mode. Each one can be toggled to do different things. It basically has 3 main modes. One is basically lightning, faster lightning and light candle light. The next one is basically a different glow of emergency services, a fire truck, a police car, and I believe an ambulance. The third one is different candle effects. So this is great for mimicking these effects in your own videos or whatever creative way you may use such a light. Moving on, this thing has a massive battery, a lot bigger than the one you find in the Aputure. 2930 mAh in this tiny light at 7.4 volts, which is again above 50% of what the Aputure can offer. Now this sounds all crazy at the same price point, and believe me, when I actually bought this thing, I was quite gobsmacked as to how something like the Aputure costs so much. Although it is the trusted known brand and they do great products and I've got nothing against them, but something like this comes on the market and it absolutely blows that thing away. And its battery life claimed to be at 100% brightness of 140 minutes. That's absolutely insane, whereas the Aputure can only do 30 minutes at max brightness. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times the bloody battery life. This thing is just crazy, and I don't know how this product can actually sell at this price. I'm really great it does, because it makes it affordable for all of us, and you know, hey, it's great. One of the major bugbearers with the Aputure is this flimsy diffusion panel. You can just touch it and it falls. You can just shake it and it falls. It's absolutely annoying. Now granted, you don't have as much flexibility with diffusion on the Boling, but you know what, I still prefer it because I can dim it and brighten it to the exact specification that I want. So both of these things compared, there's obviously one clear winner, and that is the Boling. I mean, after watching this video and even just comparing the specs, you've got to be really silly to buy the Aputure at this point in time. I mean, you could be an Aputure fanboy. I thought I was, but to be honest, as great as their stuff is and as great of a company they are, in this specific product head to head, they've been absolutely decimated by this unknown Chinese company. I don't know if they're known, but I've never heard of them. But as far as I'm concerned, they're unknown, they're out of China, and they've absolutely decimated the competition in this tiny pocketable camera light thingy category, whatever you want to call it. The clear winner for a tiny camera light that's super great and super affordable at this price point, the Boling P1. Aputure will be, however, releasing a new light in a very similar form factor called the AL-MX, but we don't really expect to see that till maybe the end of the year. So for the moment, this is the king of portable lights. Before I bought this, I went through many different lights and whatnot, and the quality on the others didn't compare. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you click that subscribe button, give me a like. If you've got any questions about either of these lights, ask me down below and I'll try my utmost best to get back to you, and I will catch you in the next video.